Everyone, thanks for joining us. We've got an exciting new store announcement. But first off, Sean, how are you?
Good, Jason. How's everything with you?
Good, I'm good. Birthday's in 2 days, so we're happy.
Wait,
But
I
go,
thought your birthday was a couple of weeks ago.
oh, it was coming in a couple of weeks. Now it's,
Oh my
finally
God.
here.
My 7-year-old doesn't even want me to tell when he's 7.5. He goes, I'm either 7 or I'm 8. So you need to learn that lesson from my boy.
It's your birthday month, and then you have a birthday week, and then you have
No,
your
that's my wife.
birthday.
My wife is like that.
Well, there you go. Well, hey, I mean, let's hop into it. So, I'll throw it to you. You want to announce kind of the new store you guys have partnered with and that you guys are going into?
Yeah, I mean everybody knows by now. So it's Central Market, which is a division of HEB. This is a really upscale, modern supermarket chain. They've got really super high volume stores and they're all the biggest markets in Texas, in Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston, Austin, and San Antonio. So it's a small chain by the number of stores, but a really big. These are really high volume, high velocity supermarkets that are really influential, and everybody in the areas, knows these stores, and it's the kind of place I think where a lot of people, on the weekend they make a trip, and it's where they go to shop on these big, shopping trips on the weekend. It's like that kind of place. It's not like you get in and get out every, on Tuesday night on the way home from work. It's like a big, you get there and you load up and you experiment. They have a lot of new and exciting types of products, and they saw this and they liked it. And when we hit them with the pregnancy thing, they were like, well, we can't not have that. So, and we're seeing that, when we talk even to the really big chains, like I've mentioned, it changes the whole conversation. Once we hit them with the pregnancy thing, I think their mind was made up. And if not for COVID, we probably would have been on shelf, a good month or two earlier than we were, but we're there and we're really happy. I mean, we're now in, once we get New York, which I think is coming really soon, we'll be in I think 8 or 9 of the top 15 US cities. And that really gives us a good platform. I think that's really important. It may not be the supermarket where people do their regular shopping, but for the pregnant woman, if we're in their area and it's convenient enough, they'll send the husband out in the blizzard, to get the ice cream.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, let's peel back the onion a little bit. So you say like high velocity stores, like these are trips to a serious, hey, we want to try some stuff. We're gonna make a little adventure out of it. You
Yeah, yeah,
want to
yeah.
talk about how big these stores are? Like, do you have any numbers or?
No, I just know that when we were talking to the broker, so these guys, this is a division of HEB, which in Texas and in the United States, I think they're like the fourth or fifth largest supermarket chain. Um, and sometimes supermarkets ask for regional exclusivity. And when we were talking to Central Market, they wanted a few months of exclusivity. And there was another chain that we were talking about that I think had like 114, 118 stores or something like that. And we were talking to the broker, and we're like, well, if we give exclusivity to Central Market, then we can't go into this other chain. And she said, you know what, you're going to do more business in these 10 stores than you would do in those 115 stores. And Jim backed that up. Jim Christensen was like, yeah, I mean, this is a really key account. So that's the kind of thing that that got my attention. Not really being that familiar. I'm still really new to the industry. Hearing something like that tells me, wow, there's obviously a lot of people going through there and they're buying a lot of stuff.
And I guess you touched on it. Having a store that's a little bit more open to new things, wants to try stuff out, must be great. I guess like you said, if people are already going to the store looking to try new things, and they see Nightfood, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, you certainly want people going in with an open attitude and the adventurous type of consumer. So, that's great. And it kind of works out because those are the stores that tend to take the chances on new up and coming products because that's what their customers expect. I mean, you go in there expecting to find new and interesting stuff. And so it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? That's what the store delivers and that's what the store looks for. So, those are the stores where you get your early opportunities. But by the same token, we've got a lot of pregnant women in particular, and a lot of people that have been requesting the product in Texas, going back for a long time. We've got a store, on our store locator page on our website, we've got a product request form, and Texas was like number 3 or number 2, depending on any period we looked at, mixed in there with like Florida, New York, and California. I mean, it's just always an area where there's just a lot of people requesting it. So, it's the kind of store where when you tell people that are anywhere in Houston or Austin or any of these big cities, and they're like, "Hey, are you around here?" We'll be like, "Hey, do you know a store called Central Market?" And they're like, "Yeah, of course, I know Central Market." So that's great, and so it becomes a destination. These people will make it a point to go try Nightfood, hopefully, and that's what we're looking for, which is really hard to do with a more traditional supermarket where people are not going to drive past. They're not as likely to drive past 3 regular supermarkets to get to another one. This is more of a destination type store, and we hope we've got more of a destination type product.
Cool. Well, awesome. And I noticed also in the press release, you guys they're taking on all 8 of your
Right.
flavors. I mean, is it just me, or do they really, really like you guys, or what's the insight there?
Yeah, look, they see a huge potential here. They do really like the opportunity. They like the pregnancy angle, I think, a lot, and they're expecting really strong velocities from us, and they weren't afraid, to give us all that extra shelf space.
People kind of joining in the vision as well, and seems like it could be a good partnership. Do you want to talk about potentially any other cities? You mentioned you're looking at New York coming around the corner, or do you even want to touch on anything about Texas itself? I know in the press release you also said they have 5 out of the 15
Right.
most populated cities in the country. Is there anything you want to comment on that?
Well, so that's why I mentioned, right? We're in, New York, I think, is coming soon. We announced about a little less than 2 months ago that we hired Omni in New York to rep us there. And, we've got really good reason to think that something's coming. Obviously we're in Chicago, we're in DC, we're in Boston. These 5 cities in Texas are all really big cities. So, no, look, it's a really important piece for us to be able to grow our footprint out there, through the big cities. In terms of projecting, we do have commitments from other stores in other regions in the country. I think we either got orders already or we're getting them. So there's going to be more announcements, but it's just not something we're ready to make public yet. But it's coming, and I think it's going to be a lot more. And it's not, the Walmarts and the Targets and the Krogers and the Whole Foods. Those are things for the spring. So those review periods are just getting started now. We're talking with them through our various broker teams. So over the next few months, I mean, obviously, look, Central Market is a division of HEB, so that's huge. But it's going to be, I think, what people are going to see is a lot of regional coverage getting picked up, a lot of new stores, and while we're in discussions with these big national chains.